Good morning. It's Saturday, day 2 of unemployment. It's noon, which means I need to get my day started. I have to work out. I have to stream. And then apparently later today, my roommates, Mark and Ashley, want to take me out to a nice restaurant to celebrate my fun employment. So, oh, I look like an alien. It's like so bright. Anyways, I also wanted to address some of the comments on the last video. Some people were asking like, why did I quit and stuff like that. So when I wake up a little more and I can gather my thoughts, I'll answer that. Okay, I gotta get up and get moving. Ugh, I'm so tired. Ugh. Ugh. So I went to the gym and realized that I did bring my camera. So I was gonna show you that I actually went to the gym and worked out. Only ran 2 miles today, even though I'm trying to run 3 miles every time I go to the gym and do my whole weightlifting thing. Just tired, man. I'm tired. But yeah, I guess like the C9 versus TSM game is on, so I'm gonna watch that, and then after that I'm gonna stream. And that pretty much makes up my Saturdays. I feel like my Saturdays are always just kind of like, wake up, dick around for a couple hours, get hungry, order food, and then stream, and then dick around, and then sleep. That's usually how my Saturdays go. I noticed that a couple people kind of wanted to know like what I did at Riot and just like Riot in general and why I quit and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit about that. Why I quit Riot Games. Okay, so I guess first things first is like let me talk about, maybe I should do this in like better lighting. What if I did this in my stream lighting? Pop! Haha, it's super bright now, okay. Alrighty, ooh, you can see my messy bed. Okay, so, the reason why let me put this on top of my monitor so I can free up my hands. You can see I like to dump my clothes onto my bed and not actually do my bed, so haha, seeing the disgusting degenerate side of me. Okay, so why did I leave Riot? Well, let's talk about first what I did at Riot, because I don't think a lot of people knew. Like on Instagram, people are like, what? Don't you work at Riot? And like I actually see that on the subreddit too for offline TV, and it's funny to me because I've been working at Riot now for 5 years in different capacities. So when I first joined Riot, it was in 2014, and it was just to do. Wait, can you guys hear this TSM stream? Okay, I'm gonna turn that off for a second. So I joined Riot for the first time to host a show called All Chat. You guys may or may not remember that. It was like a web show that Riot was doing for the community. So it was like me, and at the time it was James-Patterson, and Melanie Mack. So it was us three, and we did the show for a while. And eventually it got to a point where the team that was making that show like wanted more help and stuff like that, and so I kind of offered that, like, hey, I kind of have a little bit of experience in sort of video production and YouTube, like what if I joined? And so yeah, I joined the team not only just as a host but also as a producer, and so I worked like that for a number of years until All Chat obviously went away, or as like the professionals call it, like sunsetting. That's what they call it. So then after All Chat went away, it was kind of like my job was sort of up for grabs. This was I actually ended up breaking up with my girlfriend at the time over it because I was sort of supporting the two of us, and I was like, oh, I don't even know where my career is going, and so like I was like, I don't know if I can continue to support both of us, and blah blah. Maybe I should just cut that out. Maybe that's TMI. I don't know.
Anyways, so then, yeah, like I said, I didn't know where my career was going at that point because, you know, my skill set at that point was very specialized into what I was doing, and it sounded like they had no reason to continue doing web shows. And so after that, it was then they were trying to build up sort of their marketing capacity and sort of doing more traditional advertisement, and so I worked for a couple months on a top secret project that I still can't talk about, and that ended up falling through because they didn't end up following through with that plan. This is so vague, I'm sorry. I just don't want to get sued by Paparito and Trondomir. And then after that, it was like, oh, okay, what am I doing now? And then they hired, they started hiring people from ad agencies to work at Riot to sort of beef up the marketing strategy at Riot Games. Like, up until then, I don't think Riot ever put out traditional commercials or anything like that. And so they were trying to like go back and do that because, you know, that stuff works. And so then I started working on a project called Go Noobs. That's what it was. And maybe you guys have seen it. It was like a live action thing, and so I helped write the words that were spoken by the VO. I helped come up with like the storyboarding concept for what the shots should look like, stuff like that. So that was really cool, and then it was then that I got hired full-time at Riot Games because it was clear that like I had more to offer than just a web show host and producer. And so then I got hired as a copywriter, and it's kind of an awkward term because copywriting doesn't have a lot to do with writing. Like, I'm not a writer by any means. I got my degree in engineering. Like, believe me, words are not my strong suit. And it's more like a creative conceptor for the purposes of advertisement. And so, you know, over the course of the next year or two, I'm losing track of when things happened. I started working on other traditional commercials, and so this is when you guys saw some of the animated stuff that I did. There was like Just One More, the Gordon Hayward spot, the Double Lift spot, and then even after that, there was like the PA Works anime thing that we made. And so yeah, that was like, that's kind of the summation of like what I worked on for the last few years at Riot Games. I'm like shedding hair. I feel like hair on the side of my neck, and I can't find it. Do you guys see it? I don't know where it is. So yeah, that's kind of like what I did at Riot, and it's even that is kind of vague because like I did lots of things in there. It was more like, here's a creative execution, figure out how to make it, and that's what my job was. It wasn't really like sit there and like write taglines for advertisement, which sometimes it did, and then like but I was kind of also a producer. It was kind of all over the place, in a good way, because it was like I got to really like own the projects, and so it was fun. It was difficult, but it was fun. So then I guess it kind of goes into like why I wanted to leave Riot. So why I wanted to leave Riot, like, I think I've said this before, but Riot really is kind of a dream job, and so I'm sure a lot of people are wondering like why would I even consider leaving Riot. And with all these side projects that I was doing, it was like I was driving myself insane. It was clearly unsustainable for me to be doing offline TV, streaming, attempting to do YouTube, you know, the anime podcast, the dance thing. I've been writing a script that I like, that me and my writing partner have been working on, and you know, like I have all these things that I'm doing outside of just a full-time job, which takes at the minimum 40 hours a week, right? If not more. And so I was driving myself insane. I just didn't have time for anything. I didn't have time for myself, and my mental state was getting worse and worse. And I realized that like I could not juggle all these things. And on top of that, like, I realized that there was a sort of pathway for me to make my side hustles like my main hustle, you know, and through streaming and stuff like that. And so it came to a point where I was like, well, what if, you know, because I'm still fairly young. I'm only 27. never mind, I'm old. When I say it that way, I feel so old. But I feel like if I waited any longer, it would become a situation of like what ifs and like what could have been. And so I felt like this was the time before I hit like a point of no return. Like, I don't know, God forbid I meet somebody I want to marry. Anyways, and so I felt like this was like the time for me to do it while I'm fully independent, while I have a bunch of money saved up, while I'm not like paying for a house or anything like that, where like I really need stability. Why not try and see where I can take this stuff and see what happens? And you know, like I've been saving up my money for a long time because this is sort of a plan that I've been thinking about for a while, and I'm gonna give myself at least a year to sort of feel it out and see how it goes. And I think at the worst case scenario is that I can always just reapply to a game company again. You know, maybe I go back to Riot Games, maybe I go to, actually never mind, I don't want to go to Blizzard, but like my point is I could reapply. Like corporate jobs will always be there, but like the chance to be a YouTuber slash Twitch streamer and whatever, like that stuff for sure is not something that will be there in a couple years. You know, that's something that like you got to strike when the iron's hot, right? So that's kind of my thinking for like why I wanted to quit Riot, and it just ended up being a good time for it because it's like I just got done with like major projects with Riot Games, and so you know, like the anime thing was like the last like big thing. I've been working on some other stuff in the meantime, but you know, big project is done. I feel like I've accomplished a lot while I was at Riot, and so I feel like I can leave on a high note. And then two is just like you know, I have now additional responsibilities with offline TV as well. I don't think this is like well publicized, but like me, Mark, and Edison now are the managers slash like executive branch of offline TV, and so now I can actually spend more time thinking about offline TV and where to take it and stuff like that. That might actually end up being like vlog material, TBH, because there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that like I think a lot of people would be curious about. So. That was a complete tangent. Anyways, that's sort of my unorganized thoughts about the whole thing. If you guys have questions, leave them in the comments. Like, I like seeing kind of having this dialogue between us. And other than that, I think I'm just gonna watch some of this T9 versus TSM series. It's going on right now. Beardson. What was I saying? Oh, and then I'm gonna stream anime later today. So I think I'm also gonna do a wrap up on just like the winter season of anime and sort of talk about my feelings, because there was so much good anime and I want to talk about it and talk about my feelings and how much I hate Shield Hero and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that, I guess. And yeah, I don't know, maybe this becomes like a daily thing where I just keep talking to the camera and see how it goes. I don't want to promise that. Don't expect me. If I say that out loud, then it'll never happen. So just forget that I said anything. You gotta take the I'm supposed to stream after this fucking series, but now we're in game 5.
And if you fall behind, you can always check every brush. On top of that, you have a great matchup against.
Hello, Mark.
Showed it once again. He went, I think, 5-1 at some point, and just
I'm so tired now.
Doing so much work. This is a counter gank.
I like watching League, but sometimes I just get so tired when I watch it. I don't know. I don't even know if this makes sense in the context of my. What was I saying? Whatever. Vlogging. I'm a vlogger now.
Why? But why though?
Because I'm going outside and I should document it. Oh fuck, I need to, hold on, I need to turn off the thingy on my computer. Mom and Dad's taking me out to a nice restaurant.
I'm regretting it. What if we just take him to Pizza Hut? You think you know the difference of an upscale restaurant?
Whoa. I might like bad shit, but I have good taste.
What's the last good restaurant you went to?
Like an actual nice one?
Yes.
It's been a while.
I'm not convinced.
Cause like the good stuff is like, yeah, I don't know. I don't even go outside that much.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, why not just treat yourself every once in a while?
I'm just not that motivated by food. You know what I mean? You know, like the foodies are super motivated. Like they'll go, oh, you know, Din Tai Fung's pretty good. I went there this week.
Yeah, but that's not good.
What?
It's not like a good restaurant. It's not like an upscale restaurant.
Dude, the original Din Tai Fung is a Michelin star restaurant.
The original.
Yeah, but I mean, it's modeled after that, so
Is it that good?
it's super good.
Did I tell you about when I called and made the reservation?
No.
So like, I was calling and they, you know, did the typical thing, what time, how many seats, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like any special occasion. And I was like, I guess we're celebrating my friend quitting his job. And she was like, haha, I wish.
That's so funny.
Oh, okay.
Couple.
Is a meatball.
It is a meatball. It's really good. It's a meatball.
I kind of prefer chef.
I used to think Amy Lee was so hot.
Me too.
She's a girl.
Love the way you laugh.
I call it butt rock.
High and steal your pain away, yeah.
What went on in the 90s that everyone sang like that? Fucking Pearl Jam ruined music.
Pearl Jam. Dude, it's so sad. Like, Pearl Jam's such a good band, but they actually ruined music for a long
Everyone
time
was like,
afterwards.
what if we just sang like, what was that guy's name?
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever, the lead singer of Pearl Jam. Fucking Creed was like, let's take Pearl Jam and add Christianity. Can you take me out?
I am back home from the nice restaurant that we went to called Cabo, and we got some nice ass pasta. I got a little wine tipsy, and I'm now ready to sleep. So hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Again, I still have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know if any of this stuff is whatever, but I'll continue to do it until I get too lazy or whatever. So okay, anyways, thanks for watching. I will catch you guys again later. Peace.